All rise for Judge Carson.
You may all be seated. Court is now in session.
Judge Carson, today we have case number 101 where Corporation McDonald's finds Corporation McDonald's as held accountable for copyright infringement. We have today Miss Alyssa from McDonald's and Mr. Jacobs from McDowell's. Here's the paperwork, sir. Confused? Let's take a closer look. The Lanham Act says trademark infringement occurs when a mark is likely to cause confusion or cause a mistake, or to deceive as the affiliation, connection, or association of such person with another person, or as to the origin, sponsorship, or approval of his or her goods, services, or commercial activities by another person. So in other words, McDowell's is in the wrong here.
I see. Miss Alyssa, you may come forward and present your case.
As you can see here, McDowell's is clearly copying my client's ideals and logo. They are too similar and the menus are well too much alike for my client's liking. This can easily be mistaken for our restaurant, which means they are clearly taking away from our business and from everything that we stand for. If you look here, you can see my client's logo is clearly a golden M with the full name written across just under the M. Here, at McDowell's, the same M, just in another font. My client finds this too consequential and asks McDowell's to change the name, their menu, and their logo. McDowell's is clearly in the wrong, and yet refuses to change anything about their restaurant. So this brings us to court today to sue McDowell's and to place the owner under arrest for violating our copyright and messing with our business. Thank you, Your Honor.
I see. Thank you, Alyssa. You may be seated. And now I'd like to hear from Mr. Jacob. Mr. Jacob, please come forward and present your defense.
Thank you, Judge. My client has told and proved that our corporation is much different from McDonald's. My client has lived in poverty for many years and wanted to make food for his family. It just so happens that his last name is McDowell's. My baby carrot just choose his or her name, can they? They rely on their parents to give them a name. He cannot help that it sounds or mimics a certain company whom he is sure copied him first.
Objection, Your Honor. He's clearly pointing fingers now.
Sustained. Jacob, please choose your words more carefully. That does sound like you're trying to start a war.
Yes, Your Honor. As I was saying, Mr. McDowell's wanted to make food for many more of people and wanted to open a restaurant to do so. He made his own menu and changed the wording so it would sound original. As you can see here, our Big Mac doesn't have sesame seeds. Therefore, it cannot be the same exact thing, which does not violate any copyright infringement. My client has been seen to explain the difference between McDonald's Big Mac and my client's very own Big Mac here.
Look, me and the McDonald's people, we got this little misunderstanding. See, they're McDonald's. I'm McDowell's. Huh? They got the golden arches. Mine is the golden arcs. Now see, they got the Big Mac, I got the Big Mick. We both got 2 all-beef patties, special sauce, lettuce, cheese, pickles, and onions. But they use a sesame seed bun. My buns have no seeds.
Mrs. Alyssa, do you have the documents that state the time and day of when your client spoke with McDowell's about the changes needing to be made?
Right here, Your Honor, and signed by the officers who met with them.
I see that your client refused to sign, Mr. Jacob.
My client has not been asked to change his name. It is simply a misunderstanding and an honest mistake. He has not been visited at all to change.
But Your Honor, in the video presented by Miss Alyssa, he clearly stated, in paraphrase, that he has a beef with the corporation of McDonald's. I'm a little confused.
My client is innocent.
Objection!
Order. Order in the court. Jacob, return to your seat, both of you.
Yes, Your Honor.
Now I'd like to ask the plaintiff and the defense for their closing statements. Their one last hurrah before I make a decision.
In conclusion, Your Honor, put him in jail. Thank you.
Oh, Mr. Jacob, I have some bad news for you and your client. This right here is proof that your client has indeed violated a copyright placed by McDonald's in the 1950s.
Wait a second. Couldn't Mr. Jacob claim this as a parody for his client? The answer? No. Because the client of Mr. Jacobs is using this logo to gain customers and also gain funding. Clearly, it's for more than just poking fun as a typical parody is meant to do. The logos are too similar, and it's also very clearly violates the copyright that Miss Alyssa's client put in place back in the years of 1950s, even though it technically wasn't adopted into Library of Congress until 1980s. Because of the loss of funding, confusion in the customer's eye, and the many similarities in the menus, Miss Alyssa's client, McDonald's, has won the case. This is how the judge sees it.
I hereby order your client to return to the United States, get out of Africa, come back to America, and stand trial because he's currently under arrest and wanted for copyright infringement. Case dismissed.
He has no idea what he's talking about. You see here, there's no check mark with the sesame seeds. I mean, come on. What's the big deal? Do you honestly just believe that wits, huh? Huh?
Word.
Word.
So how do you feel about the outcome of this court case?
I feel that the outcome was fitting for the crime because McDonald's has stolen business and our food items from us, and the owner deserves to be put in jail. He didn't even have the decency to show up, and then this guy comes in. Look at him. He doesn't even care. I'm over it. Done. I'm glad we won.